since the Jazeera-2 joint air military exercise in Qatar in 2024, during which the J-10 fighter jets achieved an impressive record of 9 o'clock against the Typhoon fighter jets, the J-10C may be about to face its first real-life combat situation, which is to bomb a dam. This is really no joking matter. I think everyone has heard about this. India and Pakistan have engaged in a small-scale conflict. But what does this have to do with the J-10C going to bomb the dam? First of all, let's talk about why the two sides clashed in the Kashmir region. This place was actually assigned to India during the period of British colonial rule at that time. However, the majority of the people in the Kashmir region follow Islam. On the other hand, the rulers of this region adhere to Hinduism. You see, in many places around the world where there are wars, especially in the Middle East, right? The vast majority of them are caused by differences in religious beliefs. However, if you take a closer look and think about it, you will be able to understand the logic behind it. Originally, there were no conflicts among the people, but some countries were playing tricks behind the scenes, forcefully defining the affiliation and creating conflicts. There are also situations that are very similar to this approach, such as the case of North Korea and South Korea, Taiwan and China, and the Rwandan genocide in Africa. Therefore, the common people in the Kashmir region believe that the Kashmir region should belong to Pakistan, while the local authorities here insist that it should be under the jurisdiction of India. That's why India and Pakistan have often fought over this issue. This time, the situation is indeed quite serious. India has cut off the water flow from the upper reaches of the river. Pakistan is currently experiencing a drought. 80% of the crops in Pakistan downstream rely on this river for growth, and 90% of the people drink water from this river. Just think about it, now that India has cut off such an important water source, it's like cutting off Pakistan's lifeline. It's as if you're not allowing them to survive, right? To put it bluntly, for Pakistan, this has reached a critical moment of life and death. They don't even have water to drink, right? Then there's India's military deployment. It has dispatched its aircraft carrier INS Vikrant to the Gulf of Oman, which is Pakistan's outlet to the sea. India is trying to block Pakistan's outlet to the sea in this way. Its foreign trade and maritime transportation have all been blocked, which is very similar to the situation in Gaza. Having said so much, I believe everyone should have a general understanding of the situation in Pakistan. Therefore, let's move on to the matter of the first combat of the J-10 fighter jet. Just think about it, if Pakistan has no way out, it will definitely fight desperately. Moreover, the water level within Pakistan is currently dropping. Just imagine that when the time comes and they don't even have enough water to drink, they will definitely dispatch the J-10 to bomb that large dam. Don't ask me why it's the J-10 that will bomb the dam, because the J-10 is the most advanced fighter jet in Pakistan. So this time I predict that whether the two sides conduct negotiations or seek mediation through a third party for communication. Once India still insists on not releasing water, then Pakistan will definitely dispatch the J-10C to launch missiles and blow up the dam here. Although it's uncertain what Pakistan will ultimately do, but if I were in that situation, I would definitely act without hesitation. Then let's talk about the comparison of the military strengths of the two sides. Of course, we have to exclude nuclear weapons first. After all, both countries are nuclear-armed states. As for which side is stronger between the two, actually, Pakistan also has its own trump cards. Didn't India block Pakistan's sea outlet? Well, Pakistan has a kind of rocket launcher named Fateh too. Its firing range can reach up to 400 kilometers. What's the significance of this? As is well known, the national border of Pakistan is only 300 kilometers away from India's capital, New Delhi. In addition, Pakistan has a large number of J-10C fighter jets and Chengdu JF-17 Thunder fighter jets. Among them, more than 100 are equipped with active electronically scanned array radars. Although India also has a considerable number of fighter jets, such as the French Mirage 2000, Rafale fighter jets, and the Russian Su-30 fighter jets, and so on. India even has its self-developed Tejas fighter jet. But among these fighter jets, only 36 Rafale fighter jets are equipped with active electronically scanned array radars. That is to say, India does not have an advantage in terms of situational awareness capabilities. The air-to-air missiles equipped by the Indian Air Force mainly include the Russian Ir-77 and the European Meteor air-to-air missiles, and their ranges are not as long as that of the PL-15 air-to-air missile carried by the J-10C. As for the Navy, Pakistan is indeed weaker than India. However, don't forget that the greatest advantage of the Navy is to conduct operations away from its own territory. But India and Pakistan share a border. If they can't reach the aircraft carrier, can't they reach the Indian mainland? Don't you think so? Not to mention that if a major war breaks out between the two sides, the aircraft carrier definitely doesn't dare to approach within 500 kilometers of Pakistan. The Houthi armed forces can harass the U.S. aircraft carrier across hundreds of kilometers. The strength of India's imported aircraft carrier is definitely not as strong as that of the U.S. aircraft carrier, right? However, returning to reality, I have always believed that the India-Pakistan conflict is the result of the confrontation between two superpowers. The United States wants to provoke conflicts to prevent China's development, and China will definitely not sit back and do nothing. Therefore, if India and Pakistan do engage in a fight, I think they will be evenly matched.